And how we doing, everyone? Welcome to the video. Today I want to talk about nasal breathing. Now, why am I talking about this? Why the fuck am I talking about nasal breathing, right? Now, what is more essential to performance in the gym, physical, mental well-being than breathing, right? So, in, out, every day, times that by like 2,500 times per day, right? It's a pretty essential part to being a human, and over 50% of the population are doing it wrong, right, and severely putting themselves at a big disadvantage. So basically what I'm going to talk about in today's video is the differences between nose breathing, breathing through your mouth, why nose breathing is so crucial, and what we can do to help if you are struggling to breathe through your nose. So before you get distracted by some TikTok or reel or whatever, I would definitely advise watching this full video because I've got no doubt that you'll get a good amount of value from it and you'll learn a lot. So stay tuned. Now basically with this video, I'm here to tell you that mouth breathing, right, breathing through your mouth habitually is the worst thing that you can do for your body. So this can cause many postural, neurological and respiratory problems within your body that you just won't be aware of. So let's talk about postural differences, okay? So tightening of the upper back muscles, right, that are used in substitute of the diaphragm. So we know that the diaphragm is one of the main respiratory muscles that is only activated through nasal breathing. So if you're constantly breathing through your mouth, these upper back muscles on here are going to have to contribute because the lack of the diaphragm action, giving this very hunched over, kyphotic type posture, right? And what this can also do is this can also affect the shape of your face, right? I'll input some images. Not to sound too vain, right, but how we look and how we feel about ourselves is a huge part of our mental and physical well-being. So that is something that we can't really overlook, right? So let's talk about some of the respiratory problems. So we know that nose breathing takes in 20% more oxygen than breathing through your mouth, right? So you can essentially take in one breath through your mouth, one breath in your nose. The one that you do through the breath that you take in through your nose is getting 20% more oxygen, right? Now the reason for this is because we've actually got about a fist-sized cavity behind our nose that actually takes in the air, processes it, cleans it, humidifies it, and essentially prepares it for our lungs. Now it might not seem a lot, 20%, but over the course of a day, that's 20% less oxygen than you're getting in your regular nose breather. And what this can actually do is this can actually lower your blood oxygen levels, right? So I'm not going to go through it all, just Google low blood oxygen level side effects and you'll be absolutely horrified. This is a topic that I'm really passionate about because like 6 months ago, I couldn't even breathe through my nose for over 10 minutes, right? It was a really big struggle. And we know this is because we know that the nose is essentially like an organ. And if we don't use it, it'll essentially close up, right? So the tissues that take in airway through your nostrils, they'll close up altogether if they're neglected, right? But we can reverse this just through practicing. So what I like to do is I like to sit down, close my eyes, take in 4 counts in, 4 counts out, right? So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I'll do that 10 times. For me, that's about a set. So I like to do 4 sets of that. Like I like to do 4 sets of like 10 repetitions of that. Now this isn't going to happen overnight, obviously, but 5 to 10 minutes every day, and you should see a really dramatic improvement in your ability to breathe through your nose in a matter of weeks. So now we've got other methods, right? And if you physically can't breathe through your nose, I would highly recommend one of these. Now, this is a nose strip. Now, this essentially acts as like a wee spring. And what it does is it essentially holds open the passageways that air would go through to allow that easier flow of air. Now, one of the biggest risk factors of mouth breathing is the associations with that. So we've got sleep apnea, snoring, those kind of things. Now, during sleep, breathing through your mouth is a wee bit different because the brain is unconscious, right? Now, when the brain is unconscious, the things that we are going to do is going to be the path of least resistance. So if you've went years of your full life breathing through your mouth, you're going to do that in your sleep no matter how hard you try to breathe through your nose. It's not going to be possible. So what we can do is we can use tape. Now, what this is just micropore tape from like Boots or whatever, just a regular chemist. It's fairly porous, right? Meaning that some air will get in, but not a lot. And what you're going to do is you're just going to put this over your lips while you sleep. So applying this tape overnight, what that's going to do is that's going to force your brain to use the nose as its main respiratory airway, right? Essentially taking the path of least resistance because it's not going to try and open its mouth if we've got it taped shut. Now, what I will say This is completely safe to do unless you have some sort of structural flaw within your nose, right? What I mean by that is like a deviated septum or any other kind of flaw that's going back there that's inhibiting you from taking in air. So what I would do in that case is I would look to see a doctor essentially and get some surgery on it, because that isn't going to be fixable with just regular methods that I've just mentioned. So hopefully this video has shed a wee bit of light on something that the fitness industry just completely ignores altogether, and that is our breathing. So hopefully anyone that is a mouth breather and has kind of noticed that something is off with your breathing, right, as it should be, can take some value away from this and implement these strategies and just improve your breathing, improve your life, improve your performance, improve everything about yourself. So have fun.